The chair. The chair keeps trying to muscle in on my territory.
A guy on the internet told me this was the place to get the best deals on free $15 games.
Guys, Baba Is You. You can get it for free right now. It's $15. You can just get it. You have to pay $15, but you can get it for free. It's a really good deal. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Theron, Willow, Mac, Al, Day, Fanny Slam, Dupu. Sorry about you getting canceled. I think we have to blame Fanny Slam for the Blue Sky situation. The situation. The event. The incident. Free for $15. You know what? Dang it. It's just more work for me, isn't it? Hang on. There we go. Yeah, yours came up completely organically from just experiences and people's shared experiences. Hello. But the one I experienced is purely because of Fanny Slam's. It's all her fault. Who would have done that? Who would have put that on Dupu's Blue Sky? What a jerk. Sorry, yes, their fault. I thought you know what? I was gonna shout out a plugin that you can get for FFZ, and that like you can set pronouns, and then people that have the plugin, it will show a little tag next to it. But I just realized mine is not even working. Mine's not even working right now, and I don't know what I've done. I'm not even gonna. I don't know. I'm too dumb for extensions. Had a fit a while back and needed manually. Oh, that's that. What am I thinking of? Because that was the one that you had to get going with the Script Monkey stuff, right? Like I might be conflating that with uBlock. But there was something that I think was related to the whole mess with extensions across the board and anything that dynamically loaded JavaScript. I think that's the one I've got. I'm on Firefox, but it should be okay. Yeah, it's a plugin on Frankerface. And I've got it. Where's Tamper Monkey? That's the one I'm thinking of. Did I say Monkey Script? It's not. You don't need Monkey Script. Anyway, there was something a while back I remember where it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't work in FFZ right now, and you gotta put in a Tamper Monkey script so that they can download the JavaScript. And I was like, I don't want to do it, but okay, because I really like a lot of those features. Anyway, this was a long tangent. The point is, the Fanny Slam brought up, it was the dumb dating sim. Yeah. It was the dumb dating sim thing, and last minute. It was okay. It was I posted about like we've got 100 little NPCs in the game now. Look at them all. Aren't they so cool? Aren't they so cool? And oh man, you want to see a good looking horse? Check out this bad boy. Whew. The Horse Prince of Bel-Air. Anyway, in response to Resident Evil protagonist, you can tell. You found that one character. Oh, yeah. There was, well, hang on. So I found one that was missing in Dupu's count as well. Dupu did not count a character because you cannot really see a face. You just see like an accessory vaguely. I remember I went back to Dupu's counting picture where he came up with 90, and I had found 9 that he missed, and there was 100th that I missed while counting the ones he missed. Well, so there are a handful, at least one, maybe more, that I just did not include in the final image that are in the game because of reasons. Well, we can't say for sure if Dupu's in the final game yet, can we? Because the game's not finalized. It has not gone gold. But yeah, as a dumb bit, I made this actually is oh no, oh yeah, it's broken. I made a dumb scene where I just like, did the it's the the typical Rinpai. Well, so this was gonna be the image I was about to post. And then I was putting it, I actually copied it and pasted it into the image. And then I was like, hang on. Before we do that, let's add one little thing. One little thing. And so I just snuck in Brian Quest 64 in here. And it all went off the rails as a result. Of course I know that. I invented it. But yeah, then as Dupu said, the freaks found it because I included the word Quest 64 in the alt text. And that is how I learned that alt text can be, you can set up feeds that even search alt text. I did not think about that. Because it wasn't my first time sneaking in Brian Quest 64. He's right there. Look, he was right there the whole time, you guys. Oh. Brian Quest 64, they're hidden in the... I literally can't even see that. I know, it's so... I can't even zoom farther. He's right there. About as tall as a mouse cursor. It's very subtle. You could name any character in fiction. I will name any character in fiction. Anyway, so because of Fanny Slam, we got 8 new wish lists. I'm chalking all of those up to that post and Quest 64 official reposting it. Now, 8 wish lists realistically equates to 0 sales. The going rate is not fantastic, but we'll take what we can get. So welcome to tonight. We're actually doing things tonight. I'm going to try and get these snow tracks working. So the problem with the snow tracks, as you can see, is that they're not scaled properly. And I never really figured out why. I've got some theories, but we've reached a pretty good milestone in that it actually is there, which is big. That's big. So I gotta figure out why? Yeah. It looks really good, and it's gonna look better once it's there. So the 2 steps we've got left are scale it correctly, and then have it dynamically attached to characters. Because right now I'm just manually saying, when the scene loads, attach this effect to the player. And then it's going to work. You can't see that it works on this one because it's so far away. Look at that. It's actually got depth. You can see it's got real depth over there. Well, it's fake depth. It's shader depth. Hi, Turtle. Turtle is you? So we gotta figure out this scaling business. I have this texture, and I think this might be set up properly to draw correctly. It is not set up properly to draw correctly yet. It will be set up. It will have been set up to have been drawing correctly soon. How are we doing that? It was sprite 3D dot texture equals viewport texture. That's it. Yeah, okay, you can see it there. And you can see it's not getting all the way to the end at all. Okay, so that tells me it's the particle or the camera? Because this is supposed to go this far, and it's treating this as what should be the left edge, and this as what should be the right edge of this image. It's going way beyond what I expected. That makes me feel like the camera is the wrong size. Could that be the case? Could it be the camera? So its size is 25 meters, measured as diameter or height, depending on keep aspect. So that should be correct, because I specified that we are using 25 something per something. What did I say? 25 viewport pixels per unit. What if that's wrong? I just arbitrarily picked 10 here. And it certainly looks better, but it's not quite right. Bathe. Feed. Feed my child. Turtle is summoner. I forgot you're a summoner, Turtle. How do you feel about being a summoner? So this isn't right. But it fits better. It's closer, but... Okay, so if I'm saying that we need 25 pixels per unit on this viewport. Oh, I need to set the size of the camera not equal to the viewport pixels. Hang on. I know what I messed up here. I just guessed, and it was like, that looks about right. Camera size does not need to equal this. It needs to equal the minimum of this. I think. Let's find out. So it was the camera size. Okay. That's looking, it's the right size. But unfortunately, yeah, the size is perfect. Size of the image is perfect, but it's offset somehow. Now, why would it be offset? What do we have going on here that is making this offset ever so slightly? Oh, shut it all down. Bad level. Bad level. Why would it be offset a bit? Camera position should be fine. Yeah, we're zeroing the camera position. Disaster. All right, get the salt. Get the salt. Snow track handler is at 0-0. Good. Turtle, you should have been summoning more. What's the deal? Why are we not doing the summoning? What's your problem? Okay. Position here needs to be 0. See, that lines up perfectly. Wait, does it? See, now it's like a little bit to the... Oh, because that's... Yeah, because... It's not... It can't be perfect because there's a perspective. Very peculiar. Then what is the next problem that how do we figure this out? Is it that the remote transform is reporting positions weirdly? If I say set the player position to 4, and now I check the snow track's position, it looks to be at 4. Now I can offset this to emulate what a correct setup should look like. And that's pretty good. Oh yeah, the jumping needs to happen too. Oh, wait, hang on. That's going a little bit too far, isn't it? That's not quite 1-to-1. Yeah, see, this is lined up perfectly with the wheel. Well, more or less. It's very, very close. Pod Racers. There was no game that was just called Pod Racers. I know what game this is, and you're quite a ways off. I'll give you a hint. Oh, too late. I was gonna say, they also made Grand Theft Auto and Lemmings. It was a game about unicycles. Anyway, this scale is still wrong. I can tell. Not only is the translation wrong, the scaling is also not correct. And that would imply an issue with the camera. To this very day, people still know about unicycles. All right, get these trees out of here. Okay, why? Whoops. So this draws the texture based on the size, and that looks pretty much perfect. This one is a little bit more unusual. It seems like too wide. Is it too wide? What's the viewport texture size here? 525, 175. That's it. That's got to be it, right? It's because it has to be an integer size. I'm doing the 25 times. I'm doing that too late in the process. So I gotta scale this up. Let's try this. Let's see if it'll just cast naturally, or if it's gonna break. Okay, well. What number did we get now? On the sub viewport. Ah, still 525. Crud. All right, hold on, man. So it's right here. I'm multiplying this by 25, but I need to be taking these. What are these? Oh. It's a float. It's a float. Okay. Ah, these are integers here. So before they become integers, let's scale them up by that 25. And we should get a more correct 539, 175. Okay, so that should fix something. Okay, let's see here. It still feels like it's going too far. But one thing we can do is offset this. All right. And see if it kind of tracks better. Okay, that's significantly better. Okay, that was the problem with the scaling, was that we just had effectively a floating point getting lopped off. Pikmin 1 was especially good. Pikmin 2 had a lot of really cool ideas that I think extended the idea nicely. And honestly felt like a pretty good continuation. Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 was fine. Pikmin 3 was fine. Pikmin 4, I don't care for what they did with Pikmin 4. I think it was not cool. They threw out the whole, oh, you're the only one on this planet, except on Pikmin 2, where it's like, you're the only two on this planet. And it was, Pikmin 1 and 2 had this really fun sense of isolation in an alien world that had just been completely claimed by these wild creatures and plants. Pikmin 4 is like, here is an air-conditioned house that is still running, has appliances working. Someone left a plate of cookies that are still fresh on the table. And this is not like a weird side level. Like you had some Pikmin 2 stuff that was like, oh, it's the giant's attic or whatever it was. I don't remember. Or like playroom stuff. But it was all like sub areas that didn't really feel as canon. It was more like, okay, now temporarily we're gonna play a video game. And now back to the story. Pikmin Leaf Green and Pikmin Fire Red. But yeah, Pikmin 4, I didn't care for the way they took that. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. I like the bad endings of Pikmin. Yeah, you had like good old bad endings and everything. Okay, I need to stop playing with the snow and fix it. Why is it off by about 1.4 units? Why do you need to know about committing and stashing? Okay. So imagine that instead of using Git, you were just storing your files on your buddy's computer. Because effectively that's all Git is. You know, you can think in that analogy and it gets you most of the way there. Okay, when you commit, you are saying, okay, I finished my changes. Hey, Ted, here's a flash drive with all the changes I made. Can you please store this on our master folder where we keep the official copy of our group project? And Ted says, sure, here we go. And then he plugs it in, and all the things that are different, he overwrites his copy and says, okay, now that's official. It's on my computer. It's on my computer, which is our official copy that everyone's working off of. That's committing. Oh, no. Stashing is saying, hey, Ted, I've got these changes, and I feel pretty good about them, but I don't want to actually put them... I'm not ready for them to be on your computer for everyone to use yet. I'm going to stick this in my drawer for later. I'm going to take my changes, and I'm just going to put it in my drawer for later. Will you please send me the original group copy so that I can go back to working off the same thing that everybody else is working off of, and I'm going to come back to these changes another time. That's stashing. You're taking your changes and you're saying, okay, save these, but for now, I want to go back to how the actual official version looks. Yeah, merging does suck. Merging conflicts says that, hey, I've got this changes. I've been working on the PowerPoint of our group project. And so you give it to Ted, and Ted says, okay, hang on. Our other team member, Betty, she sent me some changes to the PowerPoint. And your changes and her changes are on the same slides. We need to figure out how we can make this copacetic. Which image goes where, because she said she wanted to move the image towards the top of the screen, and you said towards the left. So we got to make a call here. You got to make a call. That is how you handle a merge conflict. Is usually you have to decide on every discrepancy whether you're going to take Betty's version or your version. Bunch of the base code got changed. Yeah. Well, there you go. When it comes to ROM hacks, I have no idea how that's going to play out. But in general, that is what a merge conflict is. Why are we off by 1.4 units? Yay! Oh, nice! It is a true paper-like. I'm hesitant to compare with other games. Thank you, Al. I'm hesitant to compare with other games because I know there are some games that use the paper aesthetic because it's just fun and whimsical, and I love whimsy. But I'm specifically using it, in addition to the whimsy, as a way of telegraphing this is a return to form. If you liked Paper Mario 64, Thousand Year Door, Bug Fables, it's that. It's not Color Splash. It's not Sticker Star. It's not Origami King. And I don't even know. It's definitely not Super Paper Mario. But it's a true 8-chapter partner. Earn new partners. Get items. Do recipes. We haven't done the side quest system yet. Special moves. The works. Look, there's a partner. I just generated. He just popped out. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, what a guy. What a great guy. Oh, look at that. Oh, there. Oh, there, look at that. Look at that cat. Cool. Everyone always compares the graphics with Red Dead Redemption. How does mine stack up, Short? Acquire bits, meet Bobs. Iguana partner. He is a chameleon named Leon. Yeah. Doesn't have paper robots. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? Okay. We got to figure out this particle thing. Because I'm not like, if I just have to offset everything by 1.4 units, that's one thing, but that feels very wrong because I specifically made this not named Francis. No, I have like one. I'm not gonna say a nod at Paper Mario because it's more like a get a load of Paper Mario. It's more of a, hey guys, people that are playing this game because you missed Thousand Year Door, wouldn't it be awful if everyone was a Toad? Anyway, back to the game. It's a very quick. If you take the text at face value, it doesn't even have anything to do with Paper Mario. But if you're reading between the lines, you can see it's a definite jab. A brutal right hook. Why are my snow tracks? Okay, you guys can't see this, but this is where the snow tracks are actually being generated. Almost 1.5 units to the right. And we need to figure out why. Is it the mesh? It should not be the mesh. The mesh should not care. Yeah. If all is going according to plan, which most of it is, we should be allowed to move these meshes around. Not in the Y dimension, not in the X dimension. Polygon? Polygon. Should be able to move these around. X and Z. And yeah, it works. So we can move them around and it's fine. I could even technically move it up and it would still work, but it doesn't look as good. Okay, so it's not the position here because that is getting correctly processed. Snow track handler is already in the correct position. The sub viewport doesn't have a position. Oh man, I want to see. Oh, I miss RV from Dove's chat. What a great guy. What a great guy. $15 free game. $15. Okay, it's not okay. If I change this to perspective, obviously this is all gonna go wrong. Yeah, look at that. That's you can still see it there, barely. Orthogonal. And yeah, we're good. I heard about it, and I intentionally did my best to avoid looking at it because I saw like a little bit of the artwork for it, and I was like, oh no, someone who can draw actual graphics is making one of these. Crap, I can't look at it or I'm going to feel inadequate. And then I watched a little bit of the gameplay. Isherwood was playing it. Or no, Thab was playing it. I saw a little bit of the gameplay and I was like, you know what? I think my game's all right. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. Yeah, I'm not allowing myself to play video games. Maybe a little bit of video games here and there. What does current mean? Okay, yeah, because it's using the viewport. This node is representing where the player is located. That matches. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at Bug Fables as a good example because Bug Fables was very well done. And it was obvious that a lot of careful thought had been put into the gameplay. And the graphics were just kind of like, that's all right. Yeah, that's pretty good. But it wasn't like, oh, look at this polished UI. No, it was it very much had that indie feel of it's functional, it's cutesy, it's a little clunky, but it's still good. And that's where I'm really aiming to kind of hit the sweet spot of this is the people that want to play these kinds of games can look past the little bits of the little oddities and still enjoy the story, the music, the writing. I've gotten some really just extremely complimentary feedback from strangers on the writing, which feels amazing because I think that's one of the most important parts of a TTYD like just a few mini games, Lasagna Party, in and out. Garfield's Automation Blast. Why are these tracks off by 1.5 units? What would do that? Okay, three things left on the tracks. 1, figure out this offset. 2, make it attached to every actor, not just the player. 3, make it so it doesn't leave tracks when you're jumping. That's an easy one. That one's easy. Where? It's not the particles, right? It's not the particles. Let me look at those particles. No, those are dead on. That's at 0. That's origin locked. That's fine. The camera technically could do it. Like if I offset the camera, you can see that it offsets the tracks, but that should line up with 0, 0. So I don't see how that could be it. It makes me worried that it's the texture getting applied, but I don't think it is, because we've got this giant preview texture that I'm going to scale down, actually, so I can see it a little bit better. On the giant preview texture, you can see that, like, that's the edge, and that's the edge, which is great. That's perfect. It is getting that correct. Left edge is here, correct. Right edge is going to be a little bit trickier because it actually goes a little bit further, because the right one is technically it's a two-parter. Yeah, that's where the actual right one. Oh, but look at that. It doesn't go. Huh. Hang on. Getting somewhere? Going somewhere? If I 0 it, it goes all the way to here, which is correct. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that. So it does go to just it goes past this point. It's not supposed to go that far. And here, yeah. So it looks like the texture is being applied correctly, right? Like that texture is lining up correctly. But and now here, there's like a little bit of extra, weird extra bit. What could do that? What could cause that? This is lining up correctly to the texture, But the player is not lined up with the texture for some reason. The texture is landing on these locations correctly. It is applying correctly. As we can tell by this left edge. That left edge is correctly supposed to be the starting line. Like whatever the leftmost snow is. So that is getting applied correctly. So the particle effect is just not lining up. It makes me feel like the camera's not lining up somehow, but that shouldn't be right. Is there something else that's off by a transform position? The room itself. Actually, if I move the room. No, moving the room doesn't do anything. I mean, except the stars do move subtly, which is really silly. Oh, Paper Mario! Nice. Player. If you move the player around, then yeah, it's gonna... Okay, so that's not it. It has this remote transform, which is at 0, 0. That can be altered, but I don't really want it to be. If I alter it, then I think we run off the edge of this texture, right? Well, no, actually we don't, weirdly enough. Okay, bring the sprite back over. The sprite 3D is coming back over. Bloop. Huh. It's got a storied history. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay, sure. Shut down by Pixar. Sorry, guys. All right, hang on. Just reload this with the original values. It would be so easy to just say, just scoot everything over by 1.4, but my concern is that if I do that, then something is broken and I'm just counteracting it with a different breaking thing. Pixar Short's not mentioned at all. Yeah! They don't care about it. Irrelevant. What am I looking at here? What is this offset coming from? What did I do wrong? Let me look at the shader code real quick. Looking at the min corner, max corner. You can't have similar unicycles. Unicycles are very unique and all follow very original designs. How many ways? A non-cycle. Now we're talking. Oh, I thought it was gonna have 9 wheels for some reason. It's not the shader code. At least it doesn't appear to be. Perfect. There you go. Oh, this feels bad to do. Because I know that there's like... There's got to be a way to actually fix this. Rather than just like work around the offset. But we're like a week into this chapter, and we haven't even made a real room yet. We've only made like a test bed. Admittedly, it looks great. I love the look of this area. There's a great contrast with the trees. Kind of tempted to make them a bit darker. But I think it's okay. I do kind of want to make them a bit darker. We want to make them darker, don't we? I think we do. These snow tracks are great. I really like these. Okay, next piece. We need to make it so that it attaches to all actors. Tricky. How do we do that? Are we just gonna listen for new actors being added to the scene? Can we do that? It's a wheelchair. Little Toadette recently dropped the training wheels from her bike. She shed them like a snake shedding its skin. All right, how can we determine? There's got to be a signal. Child entering tree. Emitted when the child node enters the scene tree. That's not what we want. Okay, hang on. Search help. Tree. Not that kind of tree. Get tree. Scene tree. What signals can we listen to? Okay, node added sounds pretty good. I'm worried it's going to be too big. Can I check node added? Okay, node added, and it adds node. When you enter a battle, we're using the same tree, I think. Maybe not. No, I think we are. But we can do get tree and then node added. Connect to that. Added node is a node. How do I check to see? Oh boy. Oh wait. Dang. No, that's not gonna work, is it? I need it to only look for things that are like in the same room. Make the trees explode. Now we're talking. Like Earthbound. Oh man, I hated those trees. You're like mashing through. No, I can't level up now. I mean, I guess I could disconnect it. Why did they add that? Because we could say tree exiting, connect to on exit tree. And tree exiting is like when you are getting removed. Well, wait. I remove it from the tree when we enter a battle. So that doesn't work. I guess I guess this is fine. Get rid of this. I guess this is fine because this is gonna be gone, right? I did see, I guess it was maybe Bringle who did that video, which that seems really interesting to me. Like, that could be genuinely good. Yeah. Attach particles to actor. Player node. Seems well implemented. There's a really good 1000-Year Door mod that turns it into a roguelike, which I love the idea so much. I really want to include something like that, even if it's just a side mode, like a 1.1 feature that it's not even part of the actual file. It's completely separate game mode or something. Oh yeah, I mean even the base game probably isn't balanced well. Because they could, I don't know. It's tricky. Add that in the pit. I'm thinking it'd be a version of the pit. Whatever our version of the pit is. Okay, when you add an actor to the scene, and the player node may already exist at this point, I don't know. We're gonna see. Let's just do this. Let's just do something really silly here. Just tell me every time an actor gets added to the scene. Go. So far, none. Boom. A million things just got added to the scene. Sheesh. Yikes. Fight him as level 1. There you go. So we want to check to see if this is a character body 3D. So if added node is character body 3D and something in added node, some kind of special code. The Wii. Let's use reset animation too. Okay, so now let's do this a little differently. Wee-hee! 10-year time skip. I love a 10-year time skip. Oh look, Garf is back. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's good, but now we also need to keep track of when these characters leave the tree. Ah! How are we gonna do that? I don't know. Attach particles to actor. Oh, here we go. Here's an idea. Maintain a list of actors for this particular snow manager. Oh my gosh, it's Hudson. Thank you so much for 61 months.
I've been waiting to catch a stream to send this message.
It's almost a year. Thank you for subscribing with your Prime Gaming. Enjoy all the beautiful benefits. How have you been? Honestly. It's hilarious that you still come up so much in conversation. But, caveat, it's almost always in reference to, anyway. Oh man, it was so impactful. It's great that we share these weird little moments and they just stick with us forever. Hey Bach, welcome in. It's a highlight. Cultural reset. Make it a moment. All right. We're gonna append added node, and we're gonna call attach particles to actor added node, and then we're also gonna say to run on actor for player node. Okay, let's see if this works. We're trying to get particle effects for the partners. Boom. He's got tracks. He's leaving tracks. Okay, look at that. Oh, it's getting muddy in here. This is silly. This is silly. I like it. That does not leave tracks. Now, when I switch partners, yeah, that's good. That's good. Hudson, we are starting chapter 4. Sorry, what's going on there? Oh, I know what's going on here. You know, you guys know what's going on here? What's going on there? That's weird. That's weird, isn't it? It's where the partners left. Their particle effects are still there. Bug progress. It's leaving a particle effect behind. That's what we need to do. There's been bug progress around here. We got to remove these particles. So actors needs to be a list. Okay, making a change to this. Actors is going to be a list of objects. You gotta have the bugs, yeah. Okay, actor. I know you can't see the code. I've got it on the other screen. Don't worry about it. Okay, is this going to yell at me? No, good. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to check in on these actors. I guess each frame. Is that fine? It's probably fine. If is instance valid, and is on floor, then actor object dot particles. Actually, I can shorten that quite a bit. Oh, it doesn't like that. Hang on. Ah, yep. Okay. Let's see if this works. So this hopefully takes care of jumping and partner switching. Hey, look at that. Oh, look, leave a little bunny trail. Okay, and now add a partner and remove him. So Leon left us right there. And is he still there? Is he still there? He's gone. All right, cool. Particle effect is gone. Did we do, is that everything? I mean, we never really fixed the offset. We just kind of sidestepped the problem. There are not ice physics. Ice physics. The way I've got this code working for movement, it wouldn't be super easy, but it's doable, of course. It's always doable. It's just how much stuff do you have to, you know, rewrite. Because it's not true physics-based movement that we're using. It's basically like when direction is pressed, just move. Just move. Don't apply. It's not like apply a force of this many newtons and then use inertia and all this other stuff. No, it's just move, and then when you let go, stop. I mean, I pretty much have to, don't I? Sell some Pokemon. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, what if we dig? Huh. Yeah, that's fine. That works. I feel pretty good about this ice now. Or this snow. Now, there's a piece I don't feel good about, which is the edges. Free game. Oh. Now we're talking. It's free for $15. Okay. No, it's free. It's free for $15. Okay, I think snow deformation is good now, so let's take out the placeholder stuff. The Sprite 3D, get rid of that. Get rid of that Sprite 3D we had in here. There we go. There's our snow track handler. We have to give it the list of meshes, which is, I think, a reasonable amount of work. The big thing I was so worried about with this was I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to have to be, you know, carefully designing the mesh. No, we can just slap down a CSG and it's fine. We can do CSG operations on it and it still works. So we're good. We're fine. Man, I know so little about modern Pokemon. Okay, so this is our test scene to just so I know how I need to add this. But now, can we make this look okay? I mean, obviously the subdivision is a lie. It's not actually going to be subdivided that way. How can we make this plop down along the edges? You know? Like, do we have any way in our shader code of curving the edges? I don't... I can't think of a good one. I can't think of a good way to make it, you know, bow outward. Drop the price. Drop the price. So this is an intersection with this polygon. So I basically just made a mesh, a rectangle, a plane of a big enough size, slapped that into a CSG mesh. I just copy pasted the mesh in. And then just threw a polygon around it. And the reason I didn't just use a CSG, the reason we're relying on the mesh at all is that subdivide, because that gives us the amount of geometry we need to deform it with this snow effect. But how in the world can we deal with the edges and make them look good? I know what I want it to look like, which is just like, you know, bring the edges down towards the ground. How can we automate that exactly? Because it'd be nice if we could have like empty patches where there is no snow and it still works. Is there a way we can detect edges? That would actually work pretty well if I could just say, everywhere there's an edge, drop the vertex down. I wonder if you can detect the edge with normals, maybe? Let's mess with some shader code. Let's do some dangerous things with shaders. Normal. Normal. I'm normal. All right, vertex dot y equals vertex dot y plus. No, it'd still have the same normal, wouldn't it? It'd still have the same normal. This is just going to transform everything directly up, isn't it? Like, there's going to be no difference. Yeah, everything's just higher up. There's no difference on the edges, right? Nothing I can see. Let me... Godot... Shader... edge of mesh. Like, there's no way, right? Edge detection, no. No, not 2D. I want to deal with a 3D. I don't want to do like classic edge detection, which is usually talking about like edges of visual shapes. That's not what we want to do. That's not it. Yuck. Edge of a plane. Godot, shader, plane edge. See, I'm specifically not trying to do like the outline. There's so many outline shaders. There's so many outline shaders. Like, yeah. I'm looking to find the vertex. Yeah, this is all... Enable outline. I'm looking at some outline shaders just to kind of tell, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's what I figured. It's all actual outlines. That's not what I want. I just want to know. I want to affect the vertex, but not because of visual. I don't know. Maybe it's a needless bit of distinguishing. Object outline shader, Sobel edge detection. Okay, hang on. Let's look at this one here. Now, see, that's using the screen texture. Why do you need the screen texture? It's because you're doing the thing. You're doing the thing, aren't you? I know you are. Edge value depth. How does this work? Does this like just check the normals and see where they change? I don't know if that's the general idea of how it works. Yeah, Godot shaders is not gonna help. Fresnel outline, screen space, depth, pixel art outline, depth modulated pixel outline, depth based outline. There's so many ways to do this apparently. Higher detail outline shader, which looks great, I'll admit. Godot shader. Translate plane edge. Okay, hang on. This guy might be asking what I'm asking for. Dang it. Yeah, this doesn't... Well, hang on. Top margin, hint range. So what is this doing? Top margin. 1. Oh dear. Oh, did I mess up my mic? Hang on. Testing. That looks fine. I hit the mic plug and that always does some weird stuff. What else can we do here? What else can we do here? Like, obviously this is not it. Let's undo this. This going off of the normals, that's not gonna do anything. This guy's just saying look at the UV. What are we looking at here? UV1 scale, UV1 offset. No. How can I tell fragment is close to a bend? The plane doesn't have a bend. Specifically looking for the edge of a plane. And it feels like that should be... It's one of those things that's like, oh, that should be really easy, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Because it's not really the mesh. The original mesh is gone. Well, it's not gone, but it's being messed with a bit. And the result is this other mesh, which I guess we really don't have access to. Like, the shader doesn't know that it used to be a plane. No. Well, unless, okay, hang on. No, that's obviously, well, unless. Let me try something stupid. eh. No, that doesn't. Because it's an intersection. The plane has no internal geometry. That's not going to work. I do wish I could just extrude this, because then I would have a normal I could maybe work with. But I'm using this intersection. What if I did a subtraction? Well, no, that still does that. I want to extrude the mesh. Extrude the mesh. I don't want to bake. I don't want to bake the mesh if we can avoid it. That's work. And I'd rather spend 3 more weeks on this than have to bake meshes every time I wanted to change them. How do we do this? How do we do this? We've got the CSG mesh, but that's flat. That's completely flat. No way around that. We've got the polygon. We're intersecting that so that we can get like a nice, cool little edge. That's cool. And so now we've got this fairly dense. I mean, it's not actually going to be that. I don't remember the exact values. It gets changed. It gets changed at runtime. Don't worry about it. We've got this mesh, and we want to take all of the little bits of the mesh that are towards the edge. How do we determine that? I don't know. But we want to take those bits and curve them down, or the bits that are not at the edge and bump them up so that we can kind of trudge through them. The problem is, wait, what do we have in the shader parameters? Min corner, no, that's the full block of snow. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. So I've got these corners that represent the absolute range of the snow across the entire room. But that's from like this point down to like this point. So that, though useful, probably not going to help us with this. And see, this grabs the corners of the original mesh, not the intersected mesh. It is. Like, this feels like something super straightforward. So I could use that if it was just a rectangle. But because I'm adding this little wiggly edge, the wiggly edge is making it so that it's difficult suddenly. It's so wiggly. I like the wiggly. I love the CSG polygons for making these little wiggly things really quick. Even though I know the geometry is not very good. Let's see here. I'm on the 3rd page of Google results. It's not a good sign. UV coordinates are not gonna cut it. Okay, if I assume... No. I was about to say, what if instead of having 2 meshes, I had 1 mesh and just did an intersection to make sure that this section just doesn't show up? But no, that doesn't do what I want either. I want to grab this little loop, this little edge loop, and say, squish it down. Squish it down good. Make it nice and like a pile of snow. I mean, realistically, what I actually want is the inverse of like a little road down the middle of an area, and you can trudge along in the snow on the perimeter because it's fun. I want to squish the loop. Dang. 2 hours a night is not much to solve these kind of problems. Off stream, I'm not even working on chapter 4. Off stream, chapter 3 still has so much work to be done. And if I want to finish this game in the next 2 years, I gotta keep things moving. And so I'm gonna spend 3 weeks trying to squish the loop. Already have a shape in it instead of being a default, instead of being straight white. Oh, this default, or this snow, like down here that I'm standing on. This is not even snow. This is just a placeholder block. It's an untextured CSG box. Oh, this one here. The default texture already have a shape on it. It has a texture. It's not like a great texture. Where is the texture? Well, it's in here somewhere. There we go. It's one of these two. CSG box. The one I'm drawing on. Oh, okay. The viewport. That's that's getting this black. It's getting just this black and white image. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, but like to basically have it pre-squished, pre-squishage. It wouldn't be perfect, but I think it'd be passable. However, how do we calculate it? I don't love the way that would look because it gets this. I think this dark blue is really nice for selling the illusion, but it looks really bad if it's on the edge here. If you see what I mean. Like, it's like, that's a weird thing. But still, how would we dynamically, without me having to manually do this, of like every time I put snow, I have to like, okay, here's where the edge of the snow is. How would we determine where the snow is? The viewport doesn't know anything about the polygon that it's getting applied to. The material doesn't know anything about the polygon. If we invert it, the polygon, how would I get the shape of it? Give the whole shape a bezel. Well, that's the thing, is that there's not a good way to do that unless I export the shape into like Blender, modify the geometry, and then re-import it, which defeats the whole purpose. The purpose was I want to just be able to, in Godot, like in the thing I'm already doing, just be able to say, hey, I want a shape that looks like this. And then boom, right away, I've got my tuft of snow that will automatically deform when I trudge through it. Already, I feel like there's more work than I would prefer because I'm having to first generate a mesh and then intersect that with the polygon, which is silly that feels like too much work, but I want to be able to just get creative with it and then be able to easily change it. I don't know why I'm so hung up on being able to easily change it, but like right here, if I want to change this, boom, done. That's all I had to do. The shape is now different. I can just add a vertex and mess with the geometry. Easy. For CSG Polygon. Possibly. Maybe if the shapes are always vaguely rectangular, which they're not, then if I stick to that a little bit, maybe we could use the original UV UV values, not the UV triplanar, the actual UV data, and say, all right, this is gonna be stupid. This is gonna be stupid, but I would hate to have to send that data to the shader, and that's what I'm after. Really, is I want to just mess with the vertex data, not the viewport stuff, because that also applies that discoloration, which is really good for the trail, but really bad for just a little. Vertex.y. Distance from edge. UV. .u, that's on a scale of 0 to 1, which means this is going to be stretched out in a weird way. But we can adjust that because we do have the we don't have we have the triplanar data. We have the triplanar position, so maybe we could, scale. U is on a scale of 0 to 1. And then I want... Oh, is it... What are the values of UV? Isn't it, all right, hold on. X and Y. Why did I think it was U and V? I mean, I know why I thought it was U and V, but still. So it'd be UVX. Take the minimum of UV.X and 1.0 minus UV.Y, right? Okay. Add the distance from the edge. Just do that. Let's do that. Give me a big old bloop. Why is it going up? Why is it going up towards the back? Quick maths. Why is it going up towards the back, though? Is that... Why is it going up back here? I mean, that's cool, but... It's not going... I thought X was going to be... Is it rotated? No, it's just this corner. What? That didn't do what I thought. Oh, it is doing what I thought it would do. This is what I meant to do. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Even though I don't like it, that's what I meant to do. Is to have this going on. Okay. So do that. Repeat with y. uv.y and 1.0 minus uv.y. Yeah, it's not... What? Can you not? Can you not? Well, I'll just min between the mins. Is that allowed? Is that allowed, shader logic? Sure. Okay, it's not curved yet, but okay, so that gives us where it kind of lumps up towards the top and bottom, but it's going to be bad on these. It's not going to be as good. So then, woo. Okay. So the smallest number. Now that would create a pyramidal shape. We want to flatten that out first off. So we want to give it a minimum again with just a flat 0.1, let's say. So we get a nice like tray. We get a nice tray shape. Now it's only a 0.1 unit, which isn't great. So then we're going to want to take that distance from edge, which is currently on a scale of 0 to 0.1, based on how whether it's within the 10% edges. Take that distance from edge. I want the initial... Right now I'm adding towards the middle, and that's probably fine. Because we could take these and bring them down. They're already down, apparently. The shader brings them up. Oh, the shader brings them up. Well then, yeah, I want to bring them down towards the edge. So we're going to say, if you're close to the edge, you're at about an 0.1. Okay, this is going to invert. Well, not here, but yeah, it's gonna tilt it up towards the edges. And we can actually increase the edge distance here. We could parameterize this. Edge ratio 0.1. Edge ratio 0.1. And then pile, I don't know. Let's start with just this. Parameterize just this. So now we have how far it is from the edge. So by doing this, I'm this value right here. If I'm at an edge, this value will be equal to 0.1. If I'm anywhere towards the middle, this value will be 0. So now we can subtract this instead. And we can subtract a greater variant of it so that it actually sinks towards the ground, which is what we want. Okay, this is better. Now we're getting somewhere. Big blob of snow. Big blobs of snow. Big blobs of snow. Now, you can see that right here there's this edge, and that is because we're cheating, because I wanted to try this with a CSG polygon intersection. So our choices are delete it. And now we've got the full big blob of snow, which is just a rectangle, which I don't love. What we will likely do instead is take that polygon and just mess with it a little bit. So the lovely thing about this CSG polygon is that we really can just kind of wiggle the edge a little bit and get this vaguely organic edge to our snowbank. As long as we keep it pretty close to the actual edge. It doesn't have to be square, but okay. Oh, video game. All right, how does that look? See, not quite. What happened there? That means we cut too close, unless we take that code here. We're gonna have to do a little pass through. Edge ratio. 0.1 will be the default here. 0.2 will be the default here. Now we have to pass that into here, into the shader code. And then the shader code called it edge ratio also. Easy. Okay, so now we try it again, and we get a little bit more. A little bit much, even. That's very so-so. Actually, you know what? Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe every little thing will be all right. See, my hope was that this would be right up against the edges of the game. Though that's going to be very difficult because it's going to look like that. So snow. Okay, yeah, I moved it while the game was running, and it's not going to like that with the shader code. Okay, so let's see. Oh dear. Sorry. Oh, I know why. Yeah, I have to move. Not. It's fine. Is it fine? It's because this mesh, right? Is it that? Is that why? Uh-oh. That was probably fine. We okay? We're not okay. Guys, I have a feeling that 1.4 offset is coming to light here. All right, we'll deal with that soon. The big question for me is, how do we make this look good against our common boxy game world? Like, the edge is going to be like really bent down. right? So how do we make that look good? Like, I would love that nice tuft. But it seems like we got some tuft luck here. You know, like the way that you get a little grassy bloop. What if normals? No. I'm trying to consider, is there since we're doing this edge detection, it's not real edge detection. I'm just using the UV and calling it a day. But we're using that to kind of crimp the sides down. Could we go even further and have them go all the way in? Wait, no. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. So this is our amount that we're sinking it. So this is how close to an edge we are. This is our closeness to edge. B? Because then consider, take this mesh and make it, take this broken mesh and learn to fly. 7 meters. And this mesh is, wait, this mesh is also 7 meters. Oh, right, it's the polygon that's holding it back. Isn't it? Now I'm not sure. Where is this mesh? Where is this mesh? That's how big the mesh is. And that much, only that much is appearing. That seems unfair. Okay. Take this down pretty far. Viewport pixels per unit. Mesh subdivision. Here we go. A tenth of a unit is 1 vertex. And this being 7 units tall, that's 70 subdivisions. So if I set it to 0.1, I should get 7 vertices on either side that give it some play. I think we need to take this polygon off for now. Yeah. Okay, now I think... This still looks weird to me. Now I think we need to take this... Hey, Liari. We need to take this mesh and make it a little bit too big. All right. Come on, give me some good... Oh, it's so big. 5 units is too big. Give me 1 unit instead. It's meshed up. Oh. Hang on. We're getting very close. I wish I could see this edge a little bit better. Oh, wait. I think I don't want square root. I think I might want inverse square root. Maybe. That's not looking right. Something looks off here. Bring out Microsoft Paint. All right. Okay, so we have our world. What a wonderful world. Our snow. Our base height for our snow is like up here. We want our edges to be detected. And then from there, the tray style was doing this, right? This very linear approach. I would instead like to do this, right? So to do that, we need to take that distance and we need to say, what actual value do we have here? This value represents how far are we from the edge, 0 to 1. Whereas this value down here, edge ratio minus distance from edge, is saying how far are we from here, 0 to 1. And what we're doing, that's what we were doing, is this right here, which is saying go down the further away you are from this point, which is good. It's not going to make it to 1 unit. It's not actually 1. It's 0.1. So let's take this value. Take this value. Edge ratio is 0.1 or 0.2, whatever we've got it set to. Let's divide it out. Divide that value out. And now we actually are going from 0 to 1. And now when we do square root, we should actually get a pretty nice curve, I hope, instead of just like a slight meh. I mean, I see some curve, but it doesn't look great. Let me bring it up a bit. Okay, see, that's the opposite. That's the opposite of what we want. Right? Right. It is doing a square root. Oh. 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 We don't want a square root. Do we have this? Is that syntactically allowed? No. Edge ratio. How close to edge? Ship it. Oh, we have a snowbank. Oh, that's cute. Hang on, hang on. Ah! Oh, is that not just adorable? It's all right. There's still the offset problem. I still don't know what's going on with that, but this is adorable. Okay, now wait. What if because we're on 0 to 1, we can just go up by powers to increase the sharpness of the curve. Is there a POW? Yeah, look at that. Like just in this example here. Yeah. Okay, let's go 3. Let's go cubic. Give me a cubic curve. See, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And actually, you could go pretty deep with that. And then your snowbank never even has to be... If I wanted... If I wanted... I can make that really go down far. I don't know if this should be here or not. That feels weird. But yeah, we can make it so that it's a really sharp curve down. Quart. Bring this down a little bit further, but then I want the edge ratio to be a little bit more intense. Wait, not ditch height, edge ratio. Yeah, something like this. Maybe even less. Though I'm worried that we're not going to see much of the edge if we do this. Oh, this is good. This is good. All right, let's try it. I don't know if that parameter should be there or not. Okay, so what you would want then is to go up higher. Or just bring it further out. There we go. Something vaguely like that. Okay, I think that's the general idea. Is like now you don't have to worry about the edge of the snow being an issue. I mean, there's still some issues at play here, but that's pretty fun. We can also modify this to increase the depth height. Or the ditch height. So they get kind of a more pronounced... I can't really tell the difference here. But the discoloration is helpful. Like it helps sell it a bit more. Now you can tell there is a definite problem with the positioning still. That's going to be a real pain to figure out, but I think we're on the right track. I think we can safely say, okay, the general idea is there. Let us please move on. I was looking at some of the old videos of Chapter 3 development. We were a lot farther 1 week in than this. Embarrassingly so. But you know what? We have to make this look really nice. Chapter 3 is such an impactful one with some really cool moments once I actually managed to finish it. So Chapter 4 needs to come out the gate swinging with some really cool moments. Yeah! I'm proud of me. I do like that you don't see it does skip the snow tracks. Okay. Oh, thank you for the lizards. Lizards for all. I think what we need to do next time is we need to sit down and make some actual plans for Chapter 4. Actually say, hey, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an area with this, an area with that. I'm going to try and keep the plot a little bit... It's going to be really hard. I don't know what to do about this, guys. I know some really cool moments that I want to happen in Chapter 4, and I'd like to work on them. But I don't want everyone to know what they are until they get the game, and that puts me in a really precarious situation because I get work done. Oh no, no, snooze it. Oh, it's too late to snooze it. Crud. I can't. I need chat so that I can get work done. But then the chat doesn't get to get the big moments when they're playing blind. I guess it just has to be that I do as much as I can off stream. I really do. If I was not streaming the development of this, I would not have gotten this far in this project. I would have given up and gone back to playing Factorio. This needs more wiggle, but it's fine for now. It's good enough. It's good enough for now. Oh, it's gonna look really weird if I do use CSG polygons. We may stick with rectangular regions and just break it up with level geometry. Yeah, there you go. All right. Man, I was thinking if we had extra time tonight that like we'd have this completely done and then be like, you know what, let's work on this other thing too while we're at it. That did not happen. So, let's see what we can do about a raid tonight. Let's see what we can do about a raid. Let's see. Gameon is streaming. Don't get to see them live very often. Let's check the Godot tag as well. Epic is on, doing the Seaplane game, Lake Hopper. Let's see here. Who up Godot in their? I ran out of syllables. I hate it when that happens. CryEngine, how are you enjoying it? I got a friend who every time this is like tangential. Every time they try to run a game that is made in Unreal, their computer just chugs. And they've got beefy enough specs. It's just the performance sucks for some reason, and the only common thread that we've found is Unreal Engine. In the repo, straight up Godot in it, and by it, let's just say my game. It do be like that. Yeah, we got a little bit of time to meet a person. Gameon's not really someone we'd be meeting for the first time. They're working on a really interesting project. I think that's what it comes down to, is that the game the engine at its simplest state is going to produce extremely bulky projects. Like a Hello World is going to be 250 megs. It's like, what? The build that we have for the demo for Paper Robot is less than 100 megs for the entirety of the prologue in Chapter 1. I feel pretty good about that. It's going to balloon a little bit with some of these other chapters, but for now, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. closely for their 2 upcoming projects. CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk, right? They did Cyberpunk. You were gonna comment that it's so small. I'm so satisfied with that too, because I've been very conscious of the file size. Like with the aesthetic that I'm aiming for, I don't need big textures or anything like that. Like a lot of the assets size-wise is music and sound effects. There's a lot of code, but that's text. That's not much. It adds up, but it's not much. But like most of the icons are like 100 by 100. The most common texture I use in the game is 100 by 100. I think maybe 200 by 200. 32 gigs because of snow. I had to actually import Unreal in, and I call it as a dependency. Behind the scenes, it downloads Unreal and just runs that, pipes it through. Yeah, you know what? Let's go. Well, when we've got a decent number of viewers, I like to give that to smaller channels if we can. I mean, we can go see Gameon. I feel like it'd be a good opportunity to get some eyes on some smaller projects. It's just that I haven't had a chance to look at these smaller projects much. So I don't know what a lot of these are. Preferring Godot, but I'm not married to it or anything. Let's see what else we got going on in other stuff. What looks good? I hate judging books by their cover, but what else are we gonna do? Oh yeah, let's watch the AI stream where it's just we're watching an AI do things. That's my favorite. Chat guessing game. Yeah, I've got Claymore. He was very quiet last time we came in, but I mean, some people are just quiet. But I want to see something that's going to make for good TV, you know? What is your project? You at least have an editor open that's not just code. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I love it. I love a little classic too. This looks like it's got a lot of heart. What's the phrase? What's the phrase? This is giving mid-90s solo project. And I like that. I want to see more games that are just like straight up programmer art. Solo maxing in my solo era. Let's go check out Bojunda. I've never met them. Let me look at their about. Played some games that I'm familiar with, and then a lot that I've heard of and know are popular. Game Dev Mondays. Okay. Game Dev Mondays. Heavy Knight. 2D platformer. Solve puzzles by adding and removing parts of his armor to vary his weight. Love it. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. We made a lot of progress. I still haven't solved this, and we just got to give up. The end. I'll fix it later. For now, it's just there. Lizards for the road. That's it. Everybody enjoy Paper Robot. Tell a friend. 2 years. 2 years. And then we're done. Probably. Have a good night. I'll see you. Next stream is Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Bye.